Big boy Mititi Kalopo. Tony Montana. Bako. Tony Montana. Firehouse. Ginger. I want to explode. Firehouse. Ginger. Somebody pour me water. Anyway. Good evening everybody. Good evening. Anyways, what's up everybody? This is Philip. Welcome to the Bad Cigarette Podcast. This is the third episode. I was supposed to do this last week, but I did not forget. I got just too busy, and I ended up not doing it for some reason. I kind of felt bad because I don't know. I felt like there was something that I needed to do that I didn't do, and which was recording a podcast. But that was just 1 week, and I don't know exactly why it didn't happen. I was just kind of busy with other things, but I'm back. I don't think that should be happening to the point where I don't think I should be getting busy to the point where I'm not having time to do a pod to do. I need this podcast because like this is like my I don't know. I just this podcast is a part of my big like if anything needs to be done anything, this podcast is in the category of the things that I need to focus on for I don't know, for the most part of my life, basically speaking. But anyways, wait, what did I mean by saying for the most part of my life? I'm saying like this podcast is among the things that are important to me and among the things that need to be done whenever they need to be done. I don't like skip or bring excuses towards myself to like not do a podcast session or something like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, last week I kind of missed it, but I was working on other things too that are related to the podcast. But it's not like anything that has to do with recording or anything like that. But anyways, I'm back. So, what's up? What's up, everybody? And welcome back to the Bad Cigarette Podcast. And first thing I want to talk about is like I was just now listening to one of Tony Montana's music. No, not Tony Montana. Skepta. This song is called Tony Montana, and it's one that he made with Portable, which is a Nigerian artist. Crazy thing is that a few weeks ago, a video went like all around online circulating about him getting arrested because of the fact that he wasn't making payments of one of his cars. I don't know, which is something that happens to a lot of people, regardless of really who you are. Like if you're not good with your money, something like that can happen to you, and it doesn't discriminate really. But I think right now he's out of prison and he's out of jail. He's fine and stuff like that. I read somewhere that he got out and then got into a fight with a police officer and then got back in. And I would like to think that he's fine now. He's out because it's Portable. Probably somebody's gonna take him out. One of his friends that are famous and rich like him. Well, maybe let's say not rich because he wasn't able to make payments on his car. But like, anyways, whatever. That's not what I'm here for. This is not a gossip podcast or following other people's lives podcast or something like that. You know, we're not a news channel or a gossip channel, anything like that. We're just a podcast, a fun place to come and talk about things that we want to talk about or need to be talked about. As I said earlier, I really want to get this to the point where I can have people, like multiple people here, but for now we're not there. So it's just me, and let's get this started. Something else that I want to talk about is chickens, dude. Ever since I was young, not as far as I can remember, but like almost as far as I can remember, I've always loved chickens, bro. Like it's not like I like them as pets. No, I just like the idea of having chickens of your own, like chickens in your backyard, chickens anywhere you can have them, and just have them make you eggs. You can eat them as meat whenever you want. Just having chickens, it was my dream. And I remember when I was like 10 years old, 8, maybe, yeah, from 8 to like 10, 11, 12, 13, until I was like 14. I had a lot of chickens. This was in Africa, so I had a whole lot of chickens. The most amount of chickens I've ever had was like 9 or 10. But for a 14-year old, oh yeah, 14, 13, 12, something like that, 9 chickens is a lot of chickens. Literally, I loved my chickens to the point where I didn't really like eating them. Sometimes they would like, we used to live close to the road, so they would run on the road and then a cow would like hit them and stuff, something like that. And if it's not dead, fully dead, somebody would grab it and eat it. Honestly, like a neighbor or something like that. I wasn't allowed. Like my parents would not allow me, or they would also not eat a chicken that was like hit and it's like that's like almost dead and stuff like that because religious reasons. But anyways, like every single time a chicken died, oh no, not like for no reason, got hit by a cow or bike or something like that, somebody would eat it. Like it was usually not us, but like every single time we intended to eat the chicken, like literally, like butchering it ourselves and eating it, I would never eat some like the chicken. I would only eat the soup because I don't know. I just couldn't. I didn't have it. I didn't have the heart to like eat my own chickens that I've raised since they were small little chicks to edible size, and they've already given me eggs and this and that. Like I just didn't have the heart to like eat them, regardless. Like despite the fact that the whole reason why I was raising them is for meat and eggs, I just still didn't have the, the like the thing in me to eat the chickens, despite the fact that that's the whole reason why I was raising them. You know what I mean? Like I would go to school thinking about my chickens, woke up out of bed thinking about chickens, go play with my friends thinking about chickens, go somewhere to bring water thinking about my chickens. Like, oh my god, I just my whole idea of like happiness or something like that at that age was chickens. Like the most chickens I had, the happier I was at that age. I just loved my chickens. My sister did not like them, not all the way, because she was like, "Oh, they are pooping everywhere, this and that." Weird thing though. Sometimes those chickens will like come on the inside of the house and sleep there, which is it was normal in Africa where I grew up. Like having chickens inside of your house, in your actual house, was very normal. It wasn't like because the houses were not as nice as the houses here in America, where you have like a really nice floor, tile floor, oh this or that. No, the inside of the house was like mud, and it wasn't like a fancy house or anything like that. So sometimes it was very 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 normal for people to sleep in the same house with their chickens. Like it can be like 60 chickens in one house, but to the time where, so when I had 9 chickens at the same time, it didn't just happen. Like it's not like I had like boom 9 chickens in one day or 9 chickens like all at the same time. At some point it was at the same time, but like it took me a while to come from like 1 chickens to 9 chickens. So when I had less than 9 chickens, like 2 or 3, sometimes they would like come and stay inside the house. Like it was very normal. I know it sounds very cliche or very very bad like right now, but back then in Africa where I lived, it was normal to just let chickens come inside the house. Like they would like sleep in the living room or something like that. And then you woke up in the morning, you clean up. Everybody always like woke up and cleaned the house in the morning. That's the first thing people did. So you just wake up and sweep the house and clean up everything, and that includes the where the chickens slept or anything like that. And also, like one thing that I had to deal with though, that I can say is that the disease. So sometimes you would have like really nice, healthy looking chickens, this and that, and then a disease would come out of nowhere, literally, and just like start killing your chickens, like literally brutally, out of nowhere. Boom, you start hearing, oh, my neighbor's chicken died, and then if you have like free range chickens, which we didn't have like a fence or anything like that. Some people had fences but not everybody rarely had fences. Like I can't think of any neighbor that had fences. I can count the amount of neighbors that had fences in my neighborhood. So fences are not as like very popular in Africa, especially if you are living outside of a big city or outside of downtown at least. So we didn't have fences, so neighbors would just let their chickens roam around. Everybody just let their chickens go around. So if one person's chicken got sick, also your chickens would get sick. And then if they come back home with your other chickens, it's gonna make all the chickens sick. So I was like 8 years old with these like 5 to 6 chickens at a time. And they are literally every one of them, let's say like one at a time, is getting sick. And I'm trying my best as like this young kid that loves his chickens so much to save my chickens. Like I remember there's this some kind of leaf, I forget what it was. I would get that and then put it in water and then like pound it, get the water, have the chicken drink it, and try to find every kind of medicine that I could, any kind of method to just bring my chickens back to like normal health, just to keep them alive. Like I tried my best, but in the end, some of them would like gain their health back and be good, but like, bro, to be honest with you, in the end, it never really lived that long. It never did. And then if you have a sick chicken and it dies, it just dies. You cannot. First of all, you shouldn't be eating any dead animals. I mean, maybe we do here in America because you never know what the kind of meat we are buying, like at a store. You never know if it was how it was processed and how it got there and this and that. Like you don't really know the source of everything. They might have a label on it and that says like how the chicken or how the meat was raised and this and that, but like it wasn't there, and they might be lying, cause why not? Anyways, but yeah, uh, you cannot eat a dead animal. We never did. It was a part of my religion, and it's still, and so we would just throw it away if it's dead, and it was like I was just losing so. It's like I was just losing so many chickens, and it was sad for me. So it kind of like happened like that. It would happen every like maybe once a year. Out of nowhere, a disease comes into the village, takes out almost all the chickens, and then would have like just a few chickens left. And I remember it once came in one year. It came in and wiped out all the chickens. At least all my chickens. I had zero chickens, and at that age, having chickens being the reason why I felt happy and good and confident in myself, I just didn't have anything left, you know. And one time, my neighbor had a chicken, had like one male, one hen, you know. And I remember that chicken for some reason started coming at my house and staying there. And this lady, she was a very busy one. She was very busy, and so she was never home on time. Sometimes she would just stay out late and stuff like that. So her chicken would just find shelter at my house. And one day she told me that, hey, just take care of my chicken as best as you can, and then if you get babies, if the chicken lays eggs and then you get chicks, we're gonna share the chicks like right in the middle. And I was like, shit, say less. I was like, wow, this is my opportunity to like bounce back from all the chickens that I lost last year. So I was like, hey, it's just one chicken. It shouldn't be a big problem. With all this charisma and love for chickens that I had, I took the chance. So this is exactly what I did. I remember everything like it was yesterday. So the chicken will come up to my house every day. I'll make sure that it's inside every end of the day to make sure that chicken is in there. Boom. The next day it would just go outside and roam around this and that. And then when it got to the edge where it started laying eggs, like one thing about chickens that they can lay eggs as long as they are eating the right kind of food, the right amount, and also as long as they are female chickens. You know, male chickens do not lay eggs. It doesn't work like that as far as I know. But anyways, uh So I would make sure that this chicken is inside every end of the day. And then when it laid an egg, I was like, okay, then this egg cannot bear babies because it didn't have a male. Like the chicken did not mate with a male chicken, so that it can have eggs that I'm like I'll be able to make sure that the chicken I don't know how you call it hatch to the point where the female chicken can hatch it and get a baby chicken or a chick, in other words. So what I decided to do is that I would wake up in the morning when we didn't have school and grab the chicken and take it somewhere else where we used to call it Chabitaka. Literally, I would walk like 3 blocks away from my village or away from my block just to go find a male chicken on the other side of the other side of town. Nah, like not like on the other side of town or on the other side of the village, just so this chicken that day can lay an egg that it will possibly hatch and have a baby chicken or have a chick. So I'm literally in charge of taking care of this female chicken every single day. Sorry. I would wake up in the morning, take the chicken, and then have the male chicken mate with my female chicken, and then bring it back home, and then just let it roam around every single morning, literally every single day. And I don't like. I know you laid like how many, like 6 to 12 eggs. Yeah, it laid like 12 eggs, and lucky enough, all those 12 eggs were able to hatch, dude. So we have 12 eggs, right? And they hatch all of them, and then out of those 12 eggs, I think all of them were able to get to the edge where I can finally go to this lady's house and show her how many chicks her hen has laid, and we can share them. Boom. I was like, so like once that was done, 12 eggs, 12 chicks. I like they grew up to get to the point where I can take them to the owner of the actual owner of the chicken. After that, we shared the chickens right in the middle. I remember she came to my house and I had the chicks all around the house, and we stayed like she stayed like right in front of me, and then we had the chickens between us. The mother of the chickens was not there, so she would pick up one chick and I would pick up another one. She'll pick one and then I pick up another one and I pick up another one. She took six chicks, right? And I took 6 chicks too. And then she took her chicks and her main chicken to her house finally. And then I kept my 6 chicks. So this took a while, but finally it was paying off, right? So after this, I raised my 6 chickens. After raising my 6 chickens, I feel like one of them died. We had other nanny owls would come and take the chicks and stuff like that. But I was able to, I don't remember exactly, but I want to say at least 6 chickens got to the point where they could lay eggs and stuff like that. So we would eat like most of the eggs. We would just eat them. And chickens are weird, dude. Out of all those 6 chickens that I got, we had like males and females. And chickens don't really give a shit, bro. They would mate with their sisters. So like these chickens just started mating like they chickens do. They don't care that this is somebody who we have the same mom or anything like that. So made some chicks. Before you knew it, I had like, honestly, we ate a lot of them because we would eat like one chicken every Christmas or something. If something big happens, we would eat a chicken. That's just how it works back then. That's how it worked back then, and it probably still works like that. So yeah, I raised them. I don't remember exactly how all of them ended, but I remember I had so many chickens. I was so excited, and we would eat some of them. The other ones would lay eggs. I would eat the eggs every time. Like I would try the chickens that we had. Sometimes I would not eat them. We would eat them. My family would eat the chickens, but it was hard for me to eat my own chickens, to be honest. I would eat the soup though, like literally. with Bugali. So yeah, this whole time I recovered from the loss of the chickens that I had, and before you knew it, I was back with my chickens, my own chickens, and life kind of moved on like that. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like the love for chickens that I have. But then when we moved here in Africa, in America, so the chickens that I had back then, we ate most of them, and then the other ones we just things happen to chickens, bro. Like owls eat them, they get lost, they get stolen, all the things, and like anything can happen to your chicken. So I don't remember at what point where everything kind of like ended because I don't remember when I stopped having those chickens. I don't remember exactly how I how like how everything ended with those chickens. But one thing I remember though is that my friend, I call him Kadogo, sent me money. He used to live here in America. When he sent me money, I was able to buy these meat chickens. These the chickens that we eat here in America. Those chickens are so rare in Africa. At least in my village where I used to live, they were kind of like rare chickens. I bought those chickens, kept them. I bought them when they were so small, like as big as my hand. But I raised them to the point where one of them was like 7 kilograms, literally 7 kilograms. That is too big. I don't even know if it was not able to walk sometimes, and I don't think that I should have raised them to get that big. It wasn't a good idea for them. I don't think they had any health issues at all. But that's too big for them to run around as much as they should. So they never really ran too far. And those kind of chickens were not meant to run around too far. They are meant for like meat. So they're usually kept in like one place, fed, and then processed for food. But I had these two chickens, a male and a female. That was like my whole idea. If you really want to have chickens, like a lot of chickens, just get a male and a female, and that's it. Just they're gonna do their magic, and then before you know it, they're hatching eggs, and then you have more chickens. So that's what I did. And crazy enough, they didn't mate. As far as I know, I've never seen them mating. But the female chicken laid an egg once, and the egg, for some reason, remember I was young, I was just learning. All I had was passion and love for chickens. I had no education on how to take care of the chickens. The only knowledge that I had on how to take like really good care of chickens was the one that I acquired in the past from the chickens that I previously owned and stuff like that, and things that I learned from neighbors and stuff and other things, you know. So these chickens got big. I forgot where I was. But anyways, these chickens got big. The female laid an egg, but the egg was kind of weird. The shell of the egg was kind of soft and stuff like that. I didn't really think much of it because that was the first egg it ever laid. But remember, these chickens are not really raised to lay eggs, at least as far as I knew. I thought they were just for meat. So excuse me. This chicken lays an egg. I'm thinking that the reason why this egg looks kind of soft is because, first of all, this chicken is not like meant for laying eggs, but it did. Maybe it's just because, I don't know. The reason why the egg is not strong is because this chicken wasn't meant for eggs anyways. That's what I thought. But like, at the same time, now that I think of it, I don't think any chicken should lay an egg where the softness, where the shell of an egg is very soft. That's not how eggs are. You literally have to crack the egg. So the shell of the egg has to be hard enough for you to crack it. If it's not, then there's something wrong with either that egg. There's something wrong with the egg, and mainly if there's something wrong with the egg, that means there's also something wrong with the chicken. So was there anything wrong with the chickens? I would say they are maybe overgrown, because I don't know exactly how long I kept them, but I kept them from the point where they were as small as my hand to the point where they were like weighing 7 to 5 kilograms. That's too heavy. So, and I remember we ate the male chicken for sure. I remember that, and I did eat that. It was good. Uh, and then the female chicken, I sold it. I sold it for. I remember it was, what is it? I think 300,000 shillings. That is, we call that mitwaro tatu. I don't know how many. I don't know how much that is in dollars, because I know a dollar is like 3,500 to 700 shillings. But yeah. Anyways, so that's how the chicken story ended with me. Those were my two very very last chickens being in Africa. And do I miss having the chickens? I really do. I don't miss having the white chickens, because, bro, I used to have to buy food for them, and I don't even remember where I got the money from, to be honest. So I would like buy food for them, bring it to them. They would just roam around and start eating for themselves. But at the same time, they were not meant for that. So mainly, it was just to bring them food. And I want to say maybe I wasn't feeding them the right kind of food, because it was my first time to ever own those kind of chickens. So I don't know. Hopefully I wasn't the problem. I wasn't the reason why that chicken laid an egg that was not very healthy. Like, that was not a very healthy looking egg. Anyway, I think that's the end of this chicken stories. I still have so much love for chickens and cows too. I don't know. I really hope that one day I get at a point in my life where I can have my own farm. Basically, I can just have cows and chickens, and just, I don't know, my own gardens. Just live a life there, and then have a regular job. Of course, I'm not like, if farming becomes my job, I'll be more than grateful. But if it doesn't, at least I hope I get to the point where I'm just, I don't know. I have chickens. I had just a normal life with chickens in the backyard and gardens in the backyard. I'm not saying I'm gonna 100% rely on what I grow in at my house, but there's nothing wrong with having just a little bit for yourself. You know what I mean. So like, I'm gonna talk about like how it was when I came here in America. Like, when I came here in America, there's a lot of things that were very surprising to me. First was school. I remember when we got here the very first day, I went with one of my dad's friends to go pick up his kids from school. And one thing I noticed about the kids here is that they had a lot of hair, and they didn't have any uniforms, because like when we was in Africa, every school had their own uniform. And I thought that was very very unique, because you can wear whatever you want. You can Everybody had a really nice backpack. Like in Africa, at least where I lived, dude, if you had a really nice backpack, your parents were on the side of the better off financially, because I don't know, not everybody had a really nice backpack, and everybody had when I came here, I saw everybody with literally everything that they need for school and stuff like that. And then I also learned that they eat at school, which is something that we didn't have. Only private schools would like feed their kids at school, and like that was so cool. And then when I got in school, I also learned that kids also don't get physically punished. And then we had people like janitors or custodians, to clean up after students. I mean, like most students would clean up after themselves, but they never really like clean up the table and stuff like that. So we would like have our own. Here in America, people had their own uniforms. They could wear. They didn't have their own uniforms, so they could wear whatever they wanted. And then they had custodians, people to like clean the area, and then cut the grass. Cause in Africa, dude, we would cut our own grass. There was no joke. We'd have like a day where teachers are like, everybody bring we used to call it a slasher or something to cut grass with. Bring it from your house, or bring a broom from your house, or yeah, just something to cut grass with, and usually something to like. We just have a blackboard to write on, so we never really had like computers and stuff like that. Some schools did. I'm only talking about where I grew up and my experience. So we would bring stuff to like make the blackboard darker than it is, so that when we come back next week or something like that, it would be really nice, so that the teacher can use a chalk to write on it, and then have the white chalk look really clear for everybody to see on that black chalkboard. So we'll bring some stuff. It's usually batteries or charcoal or something, just something black to smear on there, so that it can look darker, so that people can better see the writing like on that board. And something else was like slashes. We would bring slashes to like cut the grass around the school, so that the school can just look clean and very nice. We didn't have like lawnmowers or anything like that, and some of these school properties were so big to the point where you literally need a lawnmower. But dude, I didn't even know what the fucking lawnmower was, to be honest. Yeah, I didn't. It's because I don't know. I had never seen it. You can't really blame me. But anyway, so yeah, we'll just do all that ourselves. And then when I got here in America, I found out that as a student, all you have to do, wake up in the morning, go to school, learn, eat, play with friends, make friends, and then come back home. But still, some fucking students don't want to do that. I'm not saying like, oh, you are so ungrateful for not wanting to go to school, despite the fact that you don't have to deal with things that other people have to deal with in other countries. But I'm just saying, it's very different. It's very different in other countries, and it's really, really, really better here. It's like better in many ways, and I don't know, bro. You don't have to. I'm not saying you're ungrateful for. I'm not saying that the kids that don't want to go to school are ungrateful or anything like that. But I'm just trying to let you know that it's different. Other people have it worse or anything like that. There's also many other reasons why some kids would not want to go to school. Maybe, especially like, dude, let's talk about bullying. I never really thought that I would talk about this about bullying or anything like that. But I think like one of the reasons why some kids, if you have like a little brother or little sister or anything like that, or big brother or big sister that like just refuses or is becoming less energetic about school, just check with them, bro. Just be like, hey, I know you've had you've created this thing about you where you don't want to go to school sometimes. Is there any reason? Is everything all right? Are your teachers helping you the way they're supposed to, or are your friends being mean to you? Like, what is it that makes you feel like you don't want to go to school? It could be like they just don't want to go to school because they don't want to go to school. They want to just stay home and stay on their computers and their TVs and their iPads and phones. Or it could be that some dumbhead, stupid kid at school is bullying them, and they feel like maybe they haven't asked for help at school yet because they feel scared or scared or something like that, and that's why they just rather not go to school because they don't want to deal with the embarrassment or being bullied and stuff like that, and that's why they are refusing to go to school. So just check on them, bro. Check on your little people. Check on your brothers, sisters, and stuff like that. But or it could be that they just don't want to go to school because they've been failing and they got tired of failing and they just don't want to go there anymore. But just check on them. And if you find out that it's just because they don't want to go to school, just because why not? They just want to stay home for no reason. I don't know, dude. I don't have a little brother or any little sisters. I'm the last born. But if I did, and my little sister refused to go to school, I would tell them, hey, bro, or yeah, bro, or little sister, bro, or something like that. Just do like, go to school. School is good for you, this and that. But like, how good would I be at that? As Philip, how good would I be at convincing my little brother to go to school? I don't know. I don't think I would be very good. Sometimes the reason why the kids don't want to go to school is because they're being bullied at school, and if you don't check with that, dog, you have to. It might get to the point where you can't help them anymore, or it's too late, and problems can become bigger than they are. Like, I saw this story online where this he was like 9 years old. He's a small kid. He got bullied at school to the point where he took his own life, despite the fact that parents had complained about him getting bullied at school many times, but nobody really did anything. And this young little kid took his own life, which is very sad and so sad and something that shouldn't happen. I don't know how I got into this. I don't know how I got into. I drifted into this bullying awareness thing that I'm talking about right now. But dude, whatever. Just make sure your younger siblings are doing good at school, in different ways, and also make sure that they're getting all the things that they need. Because maybe they just don't want to go to school because they don't have the equipment, and they don't feel like asking anybody for equipment and stuff like that. Just check for your kids and stuff like that. Check in their backpack, see if they have everything that they need. Also, not just that, it's also so good to check in your if you have a sibling that's like 9 years old and below, dude, it's so good to check in their backpack and see what's in there. Because one time I know this kid that took a knife at school, just to do it, just because he thought it was fun, and he took a knife at school. He literally didn't like he didn't intend to do anything bad with it, but he took it to school, showed it to his friends, went back home, and then when he got back home, uh, he went back to school the next like a week or two after he went back to school, and then his friends who saw the knife brought then I need the story back in front of the teacher about the fact that he once bought a knife at school, and then the teacher got mad. No, the teacher didn't get mad. Like the teacher did what like she was supposed to do as a teacher, and reported that to the office, that saying that, oh, this kid once bought a knife at school and stuff like that. And then those parents' kid got called, and then they called that kid in the office too. The kid was just being was just so honest with it with like everybody, and he said, hey, I saw a knife in the back of my grandpa's car who was like driving me to school, and then I grabbed the knife, brought it here. I didn't do anything with it, and after bringing it here, I went back home with it, and I kept it home, and I didn't tell anybody. So it was just some stupid brain of a kid who was like, oh, let me just take a knife to school because it's cool. I want to show it to my friends and stuff like that, and then brought it back home and got in trouble later on, and he got what he deserved. I would say. He got sent home for like 3 days straight, suspended, and he had like a lot of meetings with his principal to make sure that, and also his parents also spoke to him to make sure that he never does something like that again. So, if something like that happens, I don't know if the parent has to go to school and tell the principal that, hey, my son once did this and this and that, but we spoke about it at home and this and that. I don't know how it's supposed to work, and also I don't know how that could have been avoided. Maybe by the parent not putting their knife in the back of the seat in their car. Like, how could that been avoided? I can't think of anyhow. But I just want to, I feel like checking the kids' backpack before and after they come back from school. It's very important because sometimes teachers use their kids' backpack as a mailbox. Yeah. Your kids are literally almost like mail carrier, mini, what is it? FedEx? No, I don't think FedEx. It could be FedEx. But what is it? How do you call this company that delivers mail? United States Post, English problems. UPS. Your kids are literally like you, like your little brothers and sisters are like UPSs for the school. The teachers grab mail and then they put it in the kids' the kids' bag. They tell them, hey, take this to your mom so she can sign it. But like they're kids, sometimes they forget to give it to their parents. So if you like the parent or you the brother or the sister doesn't check their backpack to see if there's anything from the teacher that he was supposed to give you that he forgot to give you, that thing will not be signed. And if it's like for a field trip or anything like that, and then he's gonna end up having to stay and stuff like that. So I feel like checking the kid's backpack is also something that should be done, I think. But also at the same time, if I was to ask myself, why am I talking about kids in school? Because I don't have any kids. I don't know how I got into this to this direction where I'm talking about kids and stuff like that. But anyways, let's talk about let's talk about humans in general, dude. I feel like everybody has something that they're so good at. It could be being stupid, or being smart, or playing soccer, uh, playing basketball, something like that. And if it's like something that, or it could be something that they like that you don't know why they like, or why they like it. And no matter how much they try to explain it to you, how, like, why they like it, it still won't be a good enough of an explanation for you. Like, for example, I have this friend. He has a really nice truck. It's really nice, but it's just so low to the ground, and it's literally scraping, and he has to fix it every like 2 days. And I'm like, okay, I know it looks cool, but like, why is it like it's too low to the ground, bro? You're literally having to grab the exhaust and having to tie it so that it doesn't scrape on the ground anymore. And it's obviously scraping. Like, why don't you just lift it back up, or put like bigger tires on it that will lift it up a little bit? But they literally swear not to do that. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I know you like it. I know it's good, but like, just you're having to work almost every 2 days to fix this fucking, or how what is it? What the thing that the smoke comes out of. Just lift up the truck, and not like, you don't even have to lift it all the way up. You can keep it down, but keep it to the point where it doesn't have to scrape the floor when you're driving it. So you don't have to fix the, how do you call this thing too? I'm not very good at cars, obviously. What is it? Fuck. I forgot. The thing that the smoke comes out of. Anyways, but like, yeah, just like, I can't understand why he is willing to have to fix his car every 2 days and keep it on the floor, or instead of fixing his car all to the point where he won't have to fix it again. Set his car in a position where he doesn't have to fix it every single 2 days. He likes that. I mean, I respect it. But if it was me, I could have just lifted up the truck just a little bit to the point where it doesn't scrap on the floor, you know? But that's just one thing about them that it's kind of like unique to me, that I don't understand why they have it the way they have it, you know? But that's fine. That's totally fine, because we are all humans, and we love each other. I feel like, okay, dude. So there's some people that I've spoken to that have this idea of, or they have this, not like an imaginary idea. They just have an idea of living in a country where there's like less government. And I'm not like into that all the way, but like, I don't think it would be a bad idea. But I feel like at the same time I feel like we are very far away from that, because I feel like we need to love each other a little bit more as humans than we do, so that we can live. If we really want to live in a country where there's less government and less policing and stuff like that, we would have to first put ourselves in a world, or we would start to like love each other. Everybody would have to like love their neighbor the way, I want to say, the way the Bible say that they should love their neighbor. You know, treating your neighbor the way you like to be treated, and loving your neighbor as much as you love yourself. Because think of like, there was no such a thing as police, just such a thing as police, you know. And your neighbor walks into your yard, and then they step on your flower, or they scrape your car by mistake. If you don't have the heart to forgive them for something like that, then you literally gonna end up getting into a fight with them and stuff like that. If you don't have the heart to like forgive and forget, it won't end up really good. But if you like right now, I feel like some people don't have a heart to do that. Like if your neighbor came to your house like right now and then scraped your car and they refuse to fix it, or you don't have insurance, you literally, I mean, you might even like you might turn it into like a legal matter, to the point where you just take them to court, have them fix your car. But if we really wanna take government away from our lives, we would have to like put ourselves or in this place where we can easily forgive and forget. And I feel like if we don't get to that point, we are still far away. If we are not at that point in life as a society, then we are still way far away from living in a world where there is less government than there is right now. You know what I mean? That's my last finishing part of the episode. I want to say thank you so much for tuning in and coming in and watching the podcast. I always have so much fun doing this, and thank you so much for listening. Salute. Hallelujah, pray for my mother and my brother, since I belong now. Oh.